this and be mine.
Alright, what's up, guys? So, it has been many moons since I did any kind of magic content at all. Basically, I never really got out of magic, but my friend group did. So, it's been a while since I've actually played the game. I mean, I was still looking at it every once in a while, but it kind of fell out of interest for a while. But here recently, like when the Final Fantasy set came out, and some other of my friends were getting interested in it again, we've been kind of, playing it a little more. So we weren't really playing super competitive. I just kind of threw together a couple decks, you'll see the other one. The other one will be 5-color dogs with the town commander. But I saw Zenos, and I was like, I'm gonna build him. So this isn't like the craziest, like there's no infect in here, even though that would be like really cool. This isn't like the most cutthroat build of it, but it is pretty. Some of my favorite black cards are in here. I made it more of like a black drain build. But if you're interested in seeing it, well, yeah, I'm about to show it to you. My first friend. When Zenos enters, creatures your opponents control get -2/-2, other than the chosen creature and Zenos. And when the chosen creature leaves the battlefield, transform. And he transforms into a dragon. The heavens are too small of a field for our dance. Let us transcend this mortal coil. He transforms into a flying 8/8, and when he transforms, you choose an opponent. If that opponent loses the game while he's on the field, you just win the game. So it's like you target a certain player and you just beat the shit out of them, beat them down, and then you just win. You don't have to worry about 3 other opponents. You don't have to worry about all your opponents. You just choose one and kill them, and that's your win con. Pretty much. Like, you could see how easy it is to just like Voltron this guy or infect or anything really. You could even do lose cons, like an effects that say you lose the game. If that's your targeted person, then you just win the game. So yeah, he's kind of cool. He's really cool. Plus, he's just like, even in the 99, he's just good. He's easy to. He's just good board control for the -2. Like if you're playing against a token deck, they just all die. And then him flipping into an 8/8 is just a +2. So even if you're not even going for that second condition, he's just a cheap 4 mana or 5 mana. I mean, sorry. He's just a good creature all around. Even if you don't proc the win con off of him. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. And I did actually add, I remember, it's probably been actually a few years since I made a Magic video. I usually didn't add the lands in. I just like play whatever lands you want, but I've done it. I put the lands in this time, so kind of show you what I kind of play. So I got Animate Dead, bring a creature. So you can also like throw him in the graveyard when he leaves the field too, because you can just reanimate him very easy. So Animate Dead, you bring him back. He has -1, -0, or actually anything really. And then if it leaves, he dies. Avatar Woe, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated, and she's a tap effect, and she's cheaper to cast if there's already dead bodies in the graveyard, which makes it easy. There's a lot of like creature removal effects in this, just single target ones usually, but to like proc your commander here, because you choose a creature, it's not going to get weakened, but you still want to kill it so you can transform. And like I said, it is a drain build too, so we got the First of Lothwain. Whenever a black creature enters, each opponent loses 1, you gain 1, plus she's also card draw. The Bastion makes a body, and plus whenever your creatures die, you drain. Black Market Connections is a newer card from when I started making these videos. It's a better black market, or it's a better Phyrexian Arena. You get to choose what multiple. You have to choose one or more, but basically you can create treasures, draw cards, and make creatures, and you can trigger multiple ones. It does cost a lot of life, but you do gain some life back, so that's what makes up for it. We got the Black Sun, both Twilight and Zenith. Twilight gives creatures -X, 1 target, and then basically you can reanimate something, and then Zenith does counters. So and then it goes back into your deck. So it just helps you with the removal part of it. Plus you're already like weakening stuff anyway. So if you combo this off with, like, let's say you're just a little bit short, you could go -2, and then these can finish the person off. Blood Artist, everyone knows a creature dies, you drain somebody. Bloodseeker, a creature enters an opponent's board, you may have that player lose a life. Bloodchief Ascension, it is another drain card, but it's a cheaper one. Here's one of the lands. Simple exile someone's graveyard when it enters. The Citadel, obviously, like if you play any competitive, you've seen the Citadel. It lets you pay life and play cards off the top of your deck with an additional drain effect by making everyone lose 10. Bontu's Monument, black creature spells cost 1 less, and when you cast a creature, everyone loses a life, and you drain the table. Braids, another good drain effect. At the beginning of your end step, you can sacrifice a certain type of permanent. Each opponent may do the same, and if they don't, they get penalized. Breathe Your Last. This is an interesting card. I found this and I started playing it. You destroy target creature or planeswalker, so it's one of those. Yes, it costs 3. It's like murder, but it has both the targeting of a creature or a planeswalker, so it's not as limited as like Go for the Throat, which I am playing too. But it's more for the extra mana. You can hit more targets pretty much, but it also gives you a little bit of life gain too. Cabal Coffers, staple in any mono black deck. You just pay 2, tap it, and you add black equal to the number of swamps you have. Cabal Stronghold kind of does something similar, but it costs 3 to tap. Cryptghast doubles your black mana and also has Extort. This is an interesting land. I think I just was like looking through lands once and found this, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. You can basically pay 2, add black for each black creature in your graveyard. Damnation, Damn Daniel. Destroy all creatures, can't be regenerated. Void Dorothy, this is one that's like a high salt score, whatever, people need to grow up. But basically it exiles cards from when they touch your opponent's graveyard. You can sack it to basically play them. Decree of Pain, this actually won me a game the other day. I was running out of cards in hand, and this literally was the top deck that just gave me my hand back and made me win the game. Destroy all creatures, they can't be regenerated. Draw a card for each creature card destroyed this way, and then it has a cycling effect. So if you cycle it, all creatures get -2/-2, which could be, like, let's say your opponent has a bunch of 3/3s and you summon your commander. Now they're 1/1s, and then you cycle Decree of Pain, it finishes them off. Demonic Tutor, I play this mostly because I have it. I own it, so I just slip it in. I know it's one of those, it's a 2-mana tutor, but yeah, it's good. Dire Fleet Ravager, he goes in a lot of my decks. It's just everyone loses a third of their life, and he has Menace and Death Touch. Disciple, when an artifact is put into play, graveyard from play, you may have target opponent lose a life, another drain effect. Dread Presence, you play a swamp, it's like landfall, you draw a card and lose a life, or you deals 2 damage to any target, you gain 2 life. Dreadhound is like a Sir Conrad's dog, pretty much. When it enters, you mill 3, and it basically has the same effect when a creature dies or is put into the graveyard from the library. Each opponent loses a life. Though I don't think it has the... We'll see. When a creature dies or a creature card is put into the graveyard, it doesn't have the extra effect if it leaves the graveyard either. But so he's a little worse of a Conrad because he costs another mana, but he is a 6/6. Erebos... Opponents can't gain life, you don't want them gaining life, but mostly you play him because he's an indestructible, pay 2 life, draw a card. Expedition Map, that's mostly used to search your Cabal Coffers, but it could also search your Rogue's Passage if you need to get an unblockable hit in. This one is a massive life gain for you, also a massive player killer. You drain for X, and you gain the total amount of life. Fate Unraveler is another punishment card. Whenever an opponent draws a card, he deals 1 damage to that player. Feed the Swarm, it's your enchantment removal. Black doesn't have enchantment removal that well, so this is the one-of card that can actually hit enchantments. It also can kill creatures, so it can proc your commander. Force of Despair, it's one of those cards you can cast for free by exiling a black card, and you destroy all creatures that entered. So your opponent does like this infinite combo or whatever, and has like all these tokens, but can't finish you. Literally, you just drop this for free, and you wipe their board. And then continue with your turn because you untap all your mana. Go for the Throat. It's just a kill spell. Can't kill artifacts though. The Great Unclean One is a good drain spell. I wish he was kind of. I kind of wish this was legendary. the beginning of your end step, each opponent loses 2 life. Then for each opponent who has less life than you, you make a 1/3 demon. It's really good. This is the one that is a kill spell, but it also works as a land, so it's one of those like whatever you need at the moment kind of deals. Hero's Downfall, best flavor text in the game. Destiny exalts a chosen few, but even heroes break. It kills a creature or planeswalker. Infernal Grasp kills a creature, you lose 2 life, but it costs 2 life, but it's important that it's only 2 mana, as well as it is not as specific of what it can kill. It kills anything, so you need to kill an artifact creature. It's kind of better than go for the throat at that point, because it can hit more targets. That 2 life is nothing in Commander. The Spiteful, other creatures get -1/-1, is a good way to help finish off other people's, and it just shuts down token decks altogether. Lightning Greaves, obviously, gives something Shroud. Sackville Beckons, Flash, so when it enters, you get treasures equal to the amount of... let's see. When she enters, you exile a creature from a opponent's graveyard that was put there this turn, and then you make that many tokens treasure tokens equal to its power. So, exile an Eldrazi, you get a lot of treasure. Magus of the Coffers is basically the creature version of the land that doubles your mana. Your black mana. This is a reanimate spell, but it also works as a land if you need it. Malbro is one of the other new Final Fantasy cards too. Bad Breath, when it enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3 cards of their library. So you don't usually hardcast this. You're either going to reanimate it or whatever, but it has swamp cycling, so basically you can throw it in your graveyard for 2 to get a swamp, and then you can reanimate it later. The Marionetter, artifact you control is put into the graveyard. Each opponent loses life equal to the Marionetter's fabricate 3. If you can when it enters, it makes more bodies or gets bigger. Your choice. Massacre Worm. It massacres next to the board when it enters, so it can help finish off creatures, and it's another drain effect. Minions Return is a flash card that can reanimate something. Myriad Landscape gets you 2 more swamps into play, I like Myriad Landscape in this type of deck because it puts actual swamps into play, so for the Cabal Coffers. Knight of Soul's Betrayal, it's basically the enchantment version of the creature that says all creatures get -1/-1. The Harvester, whenever in a land, so this punishes ramp decks. When a land enters the opponent's control, they lose a life and it gets a counter. Kind of wish that was legendary too, because I would be punishing green players all day. Omnixilus, Landfall. Target player, when a land enters, target player loses 3 life, and then he gets bigger. Painful Quandary is a punishment card. When your opponent casts a spell, they lose 5 life or discard a card. Pestilence, pay black to ping the table when all players. Be careful, you do hurt yourself, but no pain, no gain. I like Group Slug more than Group Hug. Rankle. Everyone hates Rankle. I never made him as a commander, but I could probably be even more hated. He just does a lot. He enters with haste, he flies, and then he can make people discard, make people draw cards and lose life, and then also sacks creatures. Wreck Tower. You do have ways to draw a lot of cards, so we want to keep them in your hand most of the time. I say most of the time because there is times where if you want to discard something to reanimate it. Revel in Riches is a win condition, but you don't really use it for that. You just use it. Creatures are dying all the time, so you get treasures for it being on the board. But you can win with it if you need. Revenge of Ravens is a preventative for people hitting you, because if they do, they lose a life and you gain a life, so all of their pesky 1/1s, if they do have them, just cancel out when they try to hurt you. Rogue's Passage, we were talking about this. It basically makes one of your things unblockable. Slaughter Pact, cast it for free. Destroy non-black creature, but you have to pay 2 and a black on your upkeep. Snuff Out, it's a spell you can cast for free to kill a non-black creature. It's not, with your life, not technically free, but Soul Rang, Sad Robot. We all know what Sad Robot does. If you don't, then it enters, ramps you, dies, draw a card. Scoot Imp, Flying Imp. Whenever a player plays a non-black spell, so it doesn't affect you unless you're casting a straight-up artifact, that player loses a life. which there wasn't too many just straight up artifacts in this, like Solemn Actoractum, Soul Ring, and the boots and stuff. Soren Markov, just he can set someone to 10 to make them an easy kill for you to just win the game. Sudden Spoiling. I don't ever see people talking about this card. This card has helped me. I love this card. It has split second, so it can't be responded to. It turns off all your opponent's creatures' abilities and makes them 0/2s. Now, on top of that, you're making them 0/2s. So all of your opponent's creatures will just die when you summon Grievous to -2/-2 the board. Grievous. There you are. Yeah, so when he enters, everything gets -2/-2. If you combo that with Sudden Spoiling, it wipes the board. Swamps, 26 swamps, and then Swiftfoot Boots. Sir Conrad, we were talking about him. He does what the dog does, but with the additional effect of when creatures leave, it also pings, as well as he has a mill effect where pay 1 in the black, everybody mills a card. Ah! It crashed. It came back. Anyway, back to it. Meat Hook Massacre. Neg X the board, where X is how much you're negging, and it has a drain effect. Tragic Slip. Neg 1 something, so you can kill a token. Or just if it's a 3/3, you can finish it off that way. Or Morbid, if a creature already died, you can neg 13 something. Good way to get around Indestructible. Underworld Dreams. My friends hate this card. Whenever they draw a card, they take a damage. Tomb of Ormog. All lands are swamps in addition to other types, so it does turn your Rogue's Passage and all of them into swamps, so it helps trigger Cabal Coffers. Victimize. You basically sack a creature to reanimate 2 more. And then Limit Break. Now, this card works differently than a lot of people think it does. It is a reanimation spell. When the creature dies, it comes back. But what's important is those other effects to where you transform it. Basically, when it's on the field, you can transform it into a beast, Death Gigas, or Hellmasker for those stats. But if it does die and come back, it's going to be its original. It's not going to remember those stats, so it's going to come back. So it's like one of those weird things to where you can make something bigger pretty much to just take out another creature, but if it does die, it's just going to come back as its normal self, which is cool. I get what they're trying to do, but it did confuse a lot of people. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't get discouraged from this price. If you proxy or I own all of these cards, but I started proxying, and it's not really a big deal to my friend group. But and this is just more of a tame build, so you can literally switch all of this out to be more aggressive or how you're liking anyway. I plan on making some like black toolbox builds to where I don't have to. Just my favorite black cards, because black is my color. But I hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, I haven't played Magic forever, so I'm a little rusty to it, but I still have, I enjoy it a lot. And I just like looking at the stuff, and I love Final Fantasy. So it was, when I saw this card, I was like, oh yeah, this is getting built. But there will be another video up here too about the 5-color dogs. So if you want to see that, just stay tuned, and I hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe. I love you. See ya.